So one thing that you are quite passionate about and you spend quite a lot of time is investing in people that are disabled, particularly people with albinism. I must tell you that jumped at me because when I grew up in Magwegwe, my next door friend, can't find a better word than that, was actually a
person
a
living
person
with
living
albinism.
with albinism. And I remember walking with him, you know, the insults that he would receive from people, you know, they'd call him Murungu, Kiwa, this and that. But he was my best buddy. He was my best friend. So we got into fights because I was trying, I made
To
sure that I
defend
was
your friend.
absolutely defend my friend. Why have you been inspired to get involved in this area?
Trevor, one of the things that happens in my job is on a daily basis, you get letters or phone calls from people seeking help or assistance in one way or another. And I kept on getting letters and cries for help from people with albinism. And their main issue was to do with lotions so that they could cope with the impact of the sun on their skin and so on. Then, you know, I used to write about this in my board reports that we're doing this, we're doing that. And the board members then once said to me, can you not increase the impact that you're having on people with albinism? And our CEO was very, very supportive in this regard and gave me that space to be able to interact with people with albinism and say, what should we be doing to help you? So in that interaction, Trevor, I heard heart-rending stories, you know, of the nature that you talked about, the insults that they go through. But it's not even that. I started hearing stories about children who are born and have to stay indoors all their lives because the parents are lodgers and the owner of the house says, this child will spook everybody else, they can't go out, you know? So the only time the child leaves the house is to go to the toilet and back. And I couldn't, as a mother, even begin to imagine such a life. Then the other issue is that if you see people with albinism, they've got little brown spots. And those are the beginnings of skin cancer. And if that is not attended to, they have the most horrific wounds that you've ever seen. So for me, that really touched me. And we began by forming a group of different organizations who look after people with albinism, and we called it the Friends of Albinism. And under Friends of Albinism, we then started saying, what is it that we need to do to make an impact on the lives of people with albinism? And, you know, from the focus group discussions that we held, we actually found that it was about raising awareness, creating respect for them, you know, getting people to be aware of the challenges that they faced and getting people to accept them for who they are. So we then coined a phrase, beyond the skin. And the campaign that we then ran was under the name Beyond the Skin.
So you've cited a couple of challenges that they face. Are there another challenges? I mean, I related my story of him, my friend being insulted.
Yes.
And that kind of stuff. What other issues do they face?
Some of them face challenges of sexual abuse because there are people who believe that if you sleep with somebody with albinism, it'll have a positive impact on you. So we started hearing stories of girls who go through sexual abuse. And then again, as a woman, you know, one of the things that really affected me was a woman giving birth to a child with albinism and then being rejected by her husband, by her family, because this child has come into this world. And what is cruel is I understand that the albinism gene is actually passed on by males. So,
But
you
the
know,
woman takes the...
yes, takes the heat for it. Whereas a child is a child is a child, you know? And we're hoping that people can get to that point of acceptance. And I was totally delighted when I found ZBC now has a presenter who is a person with albinism, because one of the things that we push in that campaign is for corporates to take on people with albinism within their corporate structures.
Are we doing enough of that?
We're not.
We're not.
We're not. But
What's-
we
what's-
also
what's
try
your
to
message?
lead.
What's
We
your
also
message?
try to lead by
Yeah,
example,
true.
you know, by doing that. And my message is that people with albinism, you know, look beyond the skin. And you'll just have a person who's committed, who's loyal, who's passionate about their work, just like everybody else. Yeah.
Wow. Well, let's hope people are listening out there and realize that these are human beings just like us.